These two trays, same seeds, same soil, same water, same sunlight, planted on the same day. So why does one look like it's been growing for 3 weeks? And the other looks like it gave up? A $2 magnet. That's it. That's the only difference. Before you scroll, I know what you're thinking. That's impossible. Magnets don't grow plants. That's exactly what I thought. But this technique has a name. It's called magnetopriming. It's been studied in over 600 peer-reviewed agricultural science papers. And it costs literally nothing to try. You expose your seeds to a magnetic field for a few hours before planting. Germination speeds up by 20 to 40%. Root depth increases. Yield goes up. And nobody at a corporate farm wants you knowing this exists. This isn't fringe stuff. This isn't backyard folklore. Listen to who's been using this. India's agricultural universities have been quietly studying this since the 1980s. Soviet-era researchers ran field trials on wheat and corn crops and documented yield jumps of 30%. Iranian scientists published results showing magnetized seed tomatoes produced 37% more fruit per plant. Polish researchers confirmed the same effect in peppers and beans. This wasn't discovered yesterday. It wasn't invented in a garage. It was suppressed, shelved, and quietly removed from mainstream agriculture curriculum, right around the time the agrochemical industry needed farmers to buy more products. Because here's the problem with magnetopriming. It doesn't need to be sold. It can't be patented. And it works too well to be profitable. Think about the economics of a seed company for a second. They sell you seeds. They sell you germination boosters, starter fertilizers, growth hormones, soil conditioners, all to solve one problem: making seeds sprout faster and stronger. Now imagine you found out that a magnet does a better job. For free. Permanently. With no side effects. Would they want you to know that? This knowledge wasn't lost by accident. It was allowed to disappear. Because forgotten knowledge is the most profitable kind. Here's the thing. You've already seen magnetic effects your whole life. You just never connected it to biology. You've seen iron filings snap into perfect lines around a magnet. You've seen a compass needle point north every single time. You've seen MRI machines rearrange hydrogen atoms in your own body to create images. Magnetic fields don't just stick things to refrigerators. They interact with matter at a cellular level. And living cells are some of the most magnetically sensitive objects in the universe. Your seeds already know this. We just forgot to listen. So what's actually happening inside a seed when you expose it to a magnet? A seed, at its core, is a living thing in suspended animation. It's waiting for the right trigger to wake up. Temperature, moisture, light. Those are the signals it knows. But here's what most people don't realize. Inside every seed cell are free radical molecules, charged particles, that control enzyme activity. And enzymes are the actual engines of germination. They break down stored starches, activate hormones, and push that root tip through the shell. When you expose seeds to a magnetic field, those charged particles realign. Enzyme activity spikes. Water uptake through the seed coat, called imbibition, increases dramatically. The cellular membrane becomes more permeable. More oxygen flows in. More metabolic energy fires up. It's not magic. It's not pseudoscience. It's physics triggering biology. A key turning a lock that was always there. Now here's exactly how to do this. No lab. No equipment. No experience required. Step 1. Get your magnet. You need a neodymium magnet, also called a rare earth magnet. They cost $1 to $3 on any online marketplace. You've probably seen them sold as hobby magnets or fridge magnets. Get the strongest one you can find at that price point. Size of a poker chip works perfectly. Step 2. Prepare your seeds. Lay your seeds flat on a non-metallic surface. A ceramic plate, a wooden board, a sheet of paper. Space them out so they're not touching each other. Step 3. Apply the field. Place the magnet directly beneath the plate, or rest it gently on top of the seeds. You're not doing anything elaborate here. You're just creating a consistent magnetic field around the seeds for a sustained period. Duration matters. Most research suggests 1 to 3 hours of exposure. Some studies tested up to 12 hours for harder seeds like beans and corn. For small seeds, tomatoes, peppers, herbs, 60 to 90 minutes is enough. Step 4. Plant normally. After exposure, plant your seeds the exact same way you always would. Same depth. Same watering schedule. Same everything. The magnet already did its job. Now watch what happens. Here's what most people get wrong when they first try this. Mistake 1. Using the wrong magnet. A basic flat refrigerator magnet is too weak. You need neodymium, the small, powerful, silvery ones. If it doesn't feel strong between your fingers, it won't do enough. Mistake 2. Overexposing the seeds. More is not always better. Past 12 to 15 hours of exposure, some studies showed diminishing returns. A few hours is enough. Set a timer. Walk away. Mistake 3. Expecting overnight miracles on old seeds. Magnetopriming amplifies the seed's existing biological potential. If your seeds are 3 years old and half dead, the magnet helps, but it can't resurrect them. Start with fresh seeds. You'll see the real difference. Mistake 4. Doing it once and giving up. Treat every batch before planting. Make it a habit, not an experiment. When you do this right, here's what to expect. Your germination rate, the percentage of seeds that actually sprout, climbs significantly. Where you used to get 60% sprouting, you'll start seeing 80, 85, sometimes 90%. That means fewer wasted seeds, fewer empty cells in your tray, more plants per dollar spent. The sprouts that do emerge are stronger, thicker stems, deeper root systems, faster transition to the vegetative stage. And at harvest, studies consistently show 15 to 40% higher yield in magneto-primed crops, depending on the plant variety. Now scale that. If you run a backyard garden of 50 tomato plants, that's potentially 20 extra plants worth of food. For a small homestead, that's hundreds of pounds of produce from the exact same space and effort. No new land, no new seeds, no chemicals, just a $2 magnet used for a few hours before planting season. I already know what some of you are thinking. Is this safe? Are magnets going to change my food somehow? No. The magnet interacts with the seed before it ever goes in the ground. By the time you're eating that tomato, there is no detectable magnetic effect on the fruit. Plants don't store magnetic charges. The magnet triggers a process, like a key turning an ignition, then the car just drives normally. There are 0 peer-reviewed concerns about consuming produce from magneto-primed seeds. Not one. Because you're not magnetizing the food. You're waking the seed up faster. Here's what makes this even more fascinating. This isn't new. Humans have intuitively understood the power of Earth's magnetic field for thousands of years. Ancient Egyptian farmers oriented their fields along magnetic meridians, north to south, based on observation passed down through generations. Ancient Chinese agricultural texts describe planting by geomagnetic season. Indigenous farmers in the Americas tracked magnetic pole shifts and adjusted planting patterns accordingly. They didn't have the science to explain what they knew, but they knew something was there. They could see it in the harvest. Modern science has spent the last 50 years rediscovering what those farmers lived by. We called them primitive. They were paying attention to forces we spent centuries ignoring. I want you to sit with something for a moment. We live in an age where more information is available than at any point in human history. And yet somehow, knowledge like this stays invisible. It's not classified. It's not hidden in a vault. It's sitting in open-access scientific journals. Published, peer-reviewed, freely available. But it's not on the seed packet. It's not in the gardening class. It's not on the morning news. Because a world full of people who can grow abundant food with a $2 magnet is a world that needs to buy a lot less. And the entire architecture of modern agriculture is built on the opposite of that. The most dangerous kind of suppression isn't burning books. It's just never mentioning them. If this changed something in how you see the world, even just a little, share it with someone who grows things. A neighbor with a garden. A family member who keeps a few pots on the windowsill. Anyone who's ever complained that their seeds won't sprout. You don't need to convince them of anything. Just hand them a magnet. Let the results do the talking. And if you want to go deeper, the next video covers 3 more techniques like this. Ancient, forgotten, and completely free. I'll see you there.